done a whole body scan.
Hear them a mile away.
So they immediately
Years old.
Wow. Wow.
She on the 99.9 percentile.
this time, I'd like to call the September 16th, 2025 meeting of the Danville City Council to order. We'll call to establish a quorum, please.
Mayor Ricky Williams Jr., Vice Mayor Eve Ledwig,
Present.
Alderman Ed Butler,
Present.
Carolyn DeToy,
Present.
James Pichard,
Present.
Tom Hightower,
Here.
Barry Johnson,
Present.
Mike O'Kane,
Here.
Mike Poor,
Present.
Rick Streebing,
Here.
Sherry Pickering,
Here.
Trisha Teague,
Present.
Jaleel Jones,
Here.
Doug Arns,
Here.
John Cooper,
Here.
14 present.
We have a quorum. For the record, Mayor Williams is out of town on city business, and so I'll be helping run the city council meeting this evening. At this time, we'll have the invocation, which will be led by Reverend Franklin Bourne of the Battle Focus Ministries, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Pichard. Please rise.
Let's all bow our heads. Father, we just thank you for life. We thank you for another day we have to live, breath in our bodies.
Yes, Lord.
We ask you, Lord, bless this meeting. Let it be a spiritual meeting that we can all come together, Lord, and work together to build this city.
Thank you.
Lord, we need you in our lives. We need you in our hearts. We ask you to help us to respect each other's opinions and comments, and that we would all, Lord, continue, Lord, to try to grow in you and be obedient to your will. Now let your love abide in our hearts and our minds. Let us continue to grow in you, Lord, live in you. We don't even know if we're going to be here tomorrow, but while we're here, help us to be loving our neighbors as we love ourselves. And we'll give you praise. We'll give you glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the September 2nd, 2025 City Council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The report of the mayor, there's no proclamations, board, committee, or personnel appointments. Are there any reports of boards, agencies, or commissions? Okay, seeing none.
Festival coming up.
Oh, fall festival. Anybody want to speak to that? Okay, that's this weekend.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Everybody's welcome to come down to Ellsworth Park. It's in Ward 2. Come and enjoy yourself. It's a 50-year anniversary of having it down there. So please come out and enjoy yourselves. Fair food, and they got all kinds of good things planned for that evening. So, or those 3 days. You might get a little wet Saturday or Sunday, but come on down and enjoy.
Okay, Madam Clerk, are there any petitions, communications, or audience comments this evening?
We do. When I call your name, you'll have 3 minutes to speak, and I ask you to come to the podium. I have PJ Bourne regarding a street name change.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As I said before, I yet come in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, Jesus, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. I've come several times, several months, and I try not to miss any of these Tuesdays, which have become very important to me as well. I've brought to your attention several times about the changing of my street. I'm the only one on that street, and I was looking up more information pertaining to that. It says that we're to contact the city council. I've done that. Submit a petition, that's not a problem. Attend council meeting, I've attended many of them, and engaged neighbors. I don't have any neighbors, I'm the only one on that street, and the only thing I need is for it to be passed. I don't understand why. I've spoken to my alderman. I've also spoken to, the very first person I spoke to was Rick Schreiber when he was at my church, who told me he would definitely help me get the street changed. Then when I get here, it seemed like that has not happened. So I'm faced with a lot of disbelief in things when I ask people to help. Nevertheless, I will never stop asking because this is my city just as well. And I'm praying that it will not just be a black Danville and a white Danville, but it will be a Danville, as the pastor had prayed and said, that we be unified and continue to love one another. I'm also looking at the fact that we continue to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and there's no justice for all. And there should be justice for all in Danville. If there's no one else on my street, there should not be a problem with me changing my street name. But yet I come faithfully every Tuesday, of which I will continue to do, because there's no reason for anyone to shut up their bowels if they don't live on the street but me. Again, I come in the name of the Father, I come in the name of the Son, and I come in the name of the Holy Ghost. And he alone is going to set this record straight, because he is the ultimate recorder of everything that's being seen, everything that is not being seen, everything that is being heard, everything that we do not hear. The main recorder is Jesus Christ. And so I'm expecting great things out of this, and I'll continue to come until you all continue to see what Jesus is doing. Thank you.
Philip Davis.
Good evening. I've been coming here for about a month now. I'm Anaya Davis' father, if y'all doesn't know. I ain't come here with a rant or a plea. I actually came here for questions about real solutions. I've been talking to parents. I've been talking to both sides. And I'm trying to figure out, is there a way that we can figure out how to save this community? There's way more important stuff going on that feel like, from my perspective, in front of people from my community, that doesn't feel heard and it feels swept under the rug. So I would like a chance to sit at the table and maybe have a genuine conversation, because 3 minutes won't be enough. But that's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. That's all I have.
Does anyone else wish to address the council this evening? Okay. We have no zoning petitions. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the payrolls for dates September 5th and September 12th of 2025.
So moved. Second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pichard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
14 yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve the vouchers payable for 9/9 and 9/16 of 2025 and the special vouchers payable for September 3rd of 2025.
So moved.
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or debate? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Alderman DeToy,
Yes.
Pichard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
14 yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we'll receive the Public Works Committee report. Chairman Poor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Ludwig. 11A is a resolution approving the purchase of a generator for the Danville Mass Transit Building. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval and need a second.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pichard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11B is a resolution authorizing the renewal of fleet liability insurance. Move to dispense with reading and ask for your approval and need a second.
Second.
Okay, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11C and D both deal with the Untouchables Motorcycle Club. If there's no objection, I'd like to take both those together. C is an ordinance vacating the alley or part thereof pursuant to Chapter 30 of the City Code near Washington Street and Commercial Street for petitioner, City of Danville, on behalf of the Untouchable Motor Club. D is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Danville, Illinois, and the Untouchables Motorcycle Club. Move to dispense reading. Ask for your approval on C and D, and we'll need a second.
Second.
Questions? Alderman T.
One of the questions that I have is, I want to make sure that I understand, everything correctly. So before I ask my question, so I want to make sure I'm on base and not off base. So if I'm understanding correctly, after listening to last week's meeting, we are paving the road, and then after the road is paved, then the responsibility for maintenance and everything is with the motorcycle club, correct?
Correct.
Two questions then. One is, what I did not see, and maybe it was earlier or maybe it's coming later, the cost of the work that's being done.
Yes, so that was previously approved, and in an ideal world, all of that would have come all at one time. So the construction project was approved, and it was, well, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. We kind of explained as the approval went through, hey, this is the intent. An agreement is forthcoming. This is the agreement that we're bringing on the back end. I can't remember the total project. So there's things that we're doing within the project that don't have to do with the technically as far as stormwater drainage along commercial at the top of the hill, and then kind of fixing some drainage up there. So that portion of the project, I think in total it was around 80. I think it was around 80. About 85,000 was the total. The portion going down the hill, fixing drainage and everything that basically gives them a long-lasting road for the future was about 50.
And then what's the life of that road?
So with the drainage and everything we've set up, it should be a pretty long-lasting road. With no treatment whatsoever, that lifespan, I mean, it'd be...
Yeah, typically an HMA hot mix asphalt road, it'd be about 15, 20 years.
And, okay, so the portion of the road, so the work in terms of just the asphalt and whatnot was about 50?
Yep. And
the lifespan is 15 to 20 years, you said?
With no additional seal coating or any basically any regular maintenance being done to it.
But once we vacate it, we obviously won't be doing any maintenance.
Correct. We won't touch it again.
So the only question that I have is just making sure that the cost and the lifespan of the road was disclosed as part of this conversation.
So with the Untouchables, we provided them the bid documents. They've seen all the drawings. We've talked about all of the expenses and even talked about, hey, in the future you may want to do X, Y, Z. More than willing to provide feedback to help you guys. But the biggest, I would say the biggest thing with them right now is that traffic count that's on that road doesn't warrant the city to do any sort of elevated surface such as HMA like that. However, if we were to go seal coat that road, that's been the struggle that they've had with the road surface at this point. Loose rocks, motorcycles coming down, that type of thing. So this is the preferred surface for them for this road. So therefore, I get that is something that they feel is beneficial to them.
Okay. Yeah. No, I remember that part from the meeting last week. My thought process was just making sure that they were aware of the amount of expense that could come their way in 20 or more years once we have vacated the road. I know that the motorcycle club has been around for more than 20 years. Mm-hmm. I know the motorcycle club, I'm assuming the motorcycle club will still be around for much longer than 20 years. So $50,000 to have a road paved in today's dollars, which might be different 20 years from now, right? And just making sure that they're fully aware and prepared to cover that expense when that time comes. Because if not, then what could the potential repercussions be for us as the city? If we vacated this road and then said, it's yours to maintain, and it's not being maintained, could they potentially at some point in the future come back and say, oh, you know what, never mind, we want you to take the road back because we can't afford to maintain it? And to me, this is just a matter of making sure that both parties are aware going into it of what, the responsibilities are, and fully aware.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, understood. So I've definitely been very clear and understanding. So this property now becomes under their ownership. If they decide in 20 years they don't even want the road to exist, they can rip it out. It's just part of their property at that point. So this is kind of this is a paved driveway at this point for them. So in the future, they are the owners. It would have to be the city that would agree to take that back. What I will ensure is very, very, very clear of the cost of that stuff moving forward, that they are very clear on. They know what the bids came back at. They know but I will definitely have another follow-up conversation to be very, very, very clear and make sure that they understand that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call, please, on C and D.
Alderman Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Coeur,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Detoy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11E is a resolution approving a redevelopment agreement between the city of Danville and the Breezy Bar and Grill. Move to dispense reading, ask for your approval. Need a second.
Second.
Questions? Alderman T.
I have a long list of questions. So is this a TIF project? Like, how did I know that, again, I listened to the meeting last week, so I know that we were approached. I'm just wondering, like, was it originally a TIF application? I'll start with my top questions. Is it TIF, and is it coming from TIF funds, or where's the money coming from in our budget?
It is the downtown TIF district.
Okay, so all of the money is coming from TIF?
That's correct.
Okay. And I understand from last week's meeting that this is an abnormal TIF project. Is that because it exceeds the amount that TIF normally is? Is that?
No, and I use abnormal loosely. As the purpose of what we consider redevelopment agreements, it allows that flexibility, right? I would say abnormal is the word to use due to the amount of reimbursement that is a precedence in a standard TIF grant. That's why we went this contractual route. It has been understood by the city of Danville that this is the gap financing required to make this project happen. The abnormality comes in to where they are going to provide proof of expenditure of a larger amount. We're not weighing the construction cost in a typical way. Typically, the city of Danville reviews $100,000 of improvements structurally to a building. If the funds are available, 50% of reimbursement on construction cost is typical. A lot of this is operational or non TIF eligible expenses. So the $54,000 that you see in the contract is the structural improvements for the TIF district.
Okay. Another question that I had, because I know that there was TIF money spent on this particular property, not with the developers, but with the property owner. Previously, how much TIF monies were spent on this property previously? And how long ago was that?
I bet we can pull that. I want to get the right number for you.
Okay.
We'll pull that if you have other questions and have it by the time.
Okay. I'm jumping around in my questions. Let's see. And then I guess the other question then is, I know for TIF projects, typically there's an application process. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be mixing up different types of incentives. There is a application window for TIF, is that accurate or no? Or TIF applications can happen anytime?
Yeah, for the downtown TIF district, we held a 1 month long application period. If there was any funding available in the budget, we were more than willing to entertain any budgets throughout any other applications throughout the year.
So this project came during that 1 month period, or was it separate from that?
I think so.
Process?
Do you guys recall when you submitted your application? Yeah, I believe it was just shortly after the window, but discussions were occurring during the application window. This project, I don't believe, came to fruition until after the deadline was over.
Okay. And then a couple other questions, just because I was reading through the contract. There's a section in the contract, Section 5.5, that concerns property taxes and related payment obligations. So is that actually the developer's responsibility, or is that the property owner's responsibility?
It's going to be the developer's responsibility.
So, okay, so the developers then would be paying the property taxes as a...
Oh, I apologize. I was confused. The $204,000, that is the contract, that is the developers. The property taxes, as I understand it, are going to be paid by the building owner.
Okay, because I didn't see anything in the contract referencing the building owner in that particular section, which was about property taxes and related obligations. It referred to the developer and not the building owner, and since they're not the building owners, it didn't seem to me that they would be responsible for the property taxes.
They will not be. I don't believe in any legal fashion. We had this question come up as well in negotiation, and I had advised our legal counsel on it. We have no legal authority to put the property tax burden on the leasee anyway.
So then this particular section that relates to property taxes, then what is it? Just moot, or?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. And then the last question that I had concerning the contract, in 2.2H, let me scroll back to get to that. It says, a lease will remain in full force and effect for the duration of this agreement. So my question is, what is the duration of this agreement? And is the duration of this agreement, does it end April 30th, 2026? Because the agreement says that the development would be complete by then.
Yeah, this is a very good question. I also spoke about this with the developers. So technically, this redevelopment agreement is in good standing until the expiration of the TIF district. And it needs to be, so the property taxes cannot be contested to a lower EAV, so the TIF does its job and continues to pay back into the TIF district. And I believe, so 24 years life of the TIF, after 2018 is when downtown TIF originated.
Okay. You said 24 years?
24 years extension possibility for another 12 years afterwards.
Okay. So 24, potentially 36. I can't talk in right. Do you have an answer to my question that you were looking up?
Yes, it is. The prior TIF funding allocated to the property owner, the building owner, is $60,901.50.
Okay, so 60,000 or 61,000
essentially.
And when was that?
January of 23. February of 23 and May of 24.
There were two separate TIF projects, or they were just two separate payments on, because I know sometimes it gets broken up.
It was two separate TIF projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I want to make sure that, I guess I don't know you all in the front row. Okay, good. I'm obviously a proponent of businesses. That's what I do. One of the concerns that I have, and one of the things that could be said, is that we've put a lot of money into one particular building, and I want to make sure that as stewards of the taxpayers' dollars, that we have provided opportunities for multiple projects downtown and not cherry-picked the projects that we wanted, because that's something that could be said. Whether or not that's true, is the viewpoint that could be argued that that's the case. So my last question is, were there other TIF projects that were applied for and considered and possibly didn't, or there weren't any other projects, and or there could still be TIF monies available for other projects?
Yeah, great question. So it did work out that all eligible TIF applicants were funded at that precedence of 50% reimbursement. That was those were the applicants that met the deadline in the month of May. Now, when I say eligible, there may have been a couple that did not meet the requirements of TIF projects that had to be declined, but everybody else was funded at 50% on their. Those were the RIP grant applications. No funding requests were made that were over the $50,000 reimbursement mark, which is why they didn't come to City Council. So yes.
And the ones that were rejected, they were not rejected because of deadline. They were rejected because of ineligibility.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Alderman Arms.
Just to follow up on a couple of those, clear, there was a statement made about structural improvements. So what were the first set of improvements for, and how are these different?
Wow. So for the prior grants?
Yes.
I'm sorry. One was for a roof. Right. So the second grant application, it is many of items, but that does include windows, doors, flooring, bathroom handicap accessibility. Pretty much the bathroom, flooring, kitchen, items like that were the second.
Okay. So what structural improvements are taking place under this grant?
I believe the hood is a big aspect of this, and you guys might be able. A gas line is a big aspect of this. I believe, Alderman Arns, it is listed in a section of this contract. I don't want to miss anything.
Okay, I missed that if it is. I apologize.
Yeah, and it is limited to those items in
Alderman,
the contract.
it's in Article 1.
Okay, thank you. And so, understanding that this agreement is apparently different than the one that was previously passed, was there language in the previous agreement that required a business to open in order for that to be eligible? So I'm going to eligibility. If a project was approved, but it was never performed and the city has not received the benefit of that grant, then does that not make the property ineligible for additional grants?
That's a great question. So the RIP, the Redevelopment Incentive Program, is a application. There is no formalized agreement to that grant process or program, due to it being a work completed first, the structural alterations, and then reimbursement at the agreed upon amount. And how that is operated is the benefit is not viewed right now as the business is opening, right? It's for the increase in value to the actual property itself for the increased assessment of those structural improvements. So yes, the opening of a restaurant is great for sales tax revenue and et cetera, but for the TIF district, the increase to the AAV is the benefit, which should be had with or without a business opening or not.
Is there any penalty to a property owner who puts forth a TIF project and then fails to deliver on it?
No, because we will not provide reimbursement. If the project is not completed, the improvements are not completed, reimbursement will not be granted.
And then the other question I had then is going back to what Alderman Teague had just indicated. I had been contacted by another downtown business owner who has been desirous of TIF. I had spoken with you about it, and those were my questions regarding eligibility for that reason. The other thing then is, you mentioned earlier that this lease needs to be in existence for the life of the TIF district. Is that realistic?
No, it's not. So we need to reinvestigate that language. I do not, for the record, I do not expect, or I hope it does, but we are not reliant of the lease being existing throughout the life of the TIF.
But as far as the project, it meets all other state requirements to qualify for TIF funding.
Yeah, the only thing being reconsidered for reimbursement are the items that are TIF eligible, which is the quote-unquote structural items, the EAV improving items.
I think so.
Alderman Teague, you had something else?
Yes. There was a question you asked, and it prompted something, but I'm going to ask another question right now. So given that the language as it relates to the life of the lease might need to change, should this be tabled until that language is revised? I don't know if that's for you to answer, but it seems to me that that would be a substantive change that we might want to consider and actually have the language for before we vote.
Yeah, I would look for advisement from legal counsel, but I don't know if this could be approved with the omittance of that language entirely, unless you believe another sentence or more language needs to be included. I don't know if that can be passed with that change to the contract.
We can certainly coordinate, which we have, with the Community Development Department to amend any provisions in this agreement and cater to whatever the agreement is with the developers and the lessee. I would say we would probably need to nail that down and come back and address this matter when we have that worked out.
The only reason I state that is I know they're chomping at the bit, regard approval or not, to get this started. That's the only reason I say if it can go.
My other questions, I remember now, was Alderman Arns asked a question about, well, what happens when a business doesn't open after having received the TIF fund, or he asked if there was a penalty. My question is, so potentially, and I'm not saying in this situation, I'm bringing this up because just like Alderman Arns, I've gotten questions about TIF and people desiring TIF and not being able to get TIF or whatever the situation may be. And so since we're talking about TIF now, wanting to potentially educate folks about what it is and what it isn't, conceivably, could a building owner come to the city, get funds for building improvements, and then sell the building without actually opening a business in that location? Is that a possibility? Because that's something that your response to his question actually prompted that in my mind.
Yeah, and the timing of that is the important part. If the improvements are made to the building and the funds are then received and they sell it, the benefit is still viewed as as there for the TIF district, so there is no penalty.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I'd like to make a motion to table until the contract has been changed.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table this, any date specific, Alderman Teague, or?
I defer to legal in terms of the timing, because I shouldn't put on them what their workload should be or when they get it done.
Any idea of timeline, guys?
I'm sorry, I was just communicating with the legal department. No, we can have this done tomorrow. We can, have any provision revised to meet, the needs in no time.
The next full city council meeting? Be ready by then?
Yeah.
That would be October 7th.
So it's been moved and seconded to table this until the October 7th full council meeting. At which time we will vote. Alderman Kane.
And what are we asking to have changed specifically when we did the minutes?
Alderman Teague, what was your desire?
The duration of the lease, so that it does not coincide with a 24-year or 36-year. I think that would be completely unreasonable. I would also then, since we're making changes, I think we need to revisit that tax language as well, because it's not the developer's responsibility.
We'll change the language on the property tax.
On the property tax, to coincide with whatever tax
That
law.
was 5-2.
I think that was,
5-1.
it was 5.5,
5.5.
and the lease section was 2.2H.
Yeah. Okay, with those two changes in the language, that's how I play. Okay. Okay, roll call P on the amendment to move this or table this till the October 7th meeting.
Alderman O'Kane,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes. So the table till October the 7th. Okay. Moving on to 11F, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a property tax abatement by the city of Danville. Move to suspend three, and that's for approval. Need a second.
Second.
Okay. Questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11G is a resolution authorizing for professional service agreement for the Poland Road sanitary gravity and force main relocation. Move to suspend three, and that's for approval. Need a second.
Second.
Okay, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pickering,
Yes.
Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11H is a resolution amending the project cost for the Elmwood Court improvements. Move to suspend three, and that's for approval. Need a second.
Second.
Questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Teague,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Arns,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
DeToy,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Hightower,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
14 yes.
14 yes, thank you. 11I, items of information. Director Rui.
Yeah, I wanted to bring a point of clarity. My memory was wrong on the number for the road going down the hill. So the number for the road going down the hill was in totality 83,000. But once again, I do feel like that was communicated very clearly. However, I will make sure and re-communicate that prior to mayor signing and all of this going into effect, just to be 100% sure that we are very good partners there. So
Yeah, and to me, it's not just the cost, but it's also the useful life, because 80,000 40 years from now is, or 100 years from now is different than 80,000 15 to 20 years from now.
yeah, I know we've already had discussions as well, just about, hey, if you know keep up on regular maintenance, there's a lot of roads we have that the asphalt got put down a long while ago. The roads that have been kept up with, the asphalt can last a lot longer as long as it's maintained and good drainage is maintained as well. So we'll make sure and also reiterate all of that and ensure that that's a very clearly stated thing. I believe I even have some emails with it. But
And then I'm assuming you have, because obviously that was a complete redo, right? That's not regular maintenance.
Correct, yeah.
I'm assuming then you have an ideal cost for what routine maintenance is and how often routine maintenance is and all of that information.
Yeah, we'll make sure and kind of provide them with in an idealistic world, what that would look like. That would probably be very helpful. So I appreciate that feedback for sure.
Just as an item of information, if all goes to plan, the new rehabilitation grant application period will be opening. It is our intent to open for applications at Public Works on September 29th. The grant agreement was received like yesterday or 2 days ago, so we're going to rush to get that released. You will see publication in that fashion, so you can speak to your residents in your wards. Again, I would advise that everybody read the publication we do put out to see all the guidelines to make sure you're eligible for the application. That's for this is a little bit different. This is an IDA grant that 50% of it is to be utilized for exterior rehabilitations and 50% of it will be used for whole home rehabilitations. And this is the grant that we received in the amount of $500,000. So we intend for that to open very, very soon.
What was that date again, Logan?
It's September 29th, and that seems odd. It's just it's a Monday.
Okay. Alderman T.
And those who applied previously, do they need to reapply?
Yes, absolutely. Every single rehab grant that is received requires a separate application period. So a brand new intake for all applicants. And again, this will not be digital. It will be available in paper form at Public Works, so we can assist any resident trying to fill it out, or they can just come in and grab a copy.
Anybody else over in Public Works? Okay. Vice Mayor, that concludes our report.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Poor. At this time, we'll receive the Public Services Committee report. Chairman Streebing.
Yes, puts us 12A, City Clerk's report, and 12A1, approval of license. Do you have anything for us this evening?
These are just for your approval as council vacation rentals that have just come through and applied in the last month.
Any questions for her? If not, all those in favor of approval of the license signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Items of information, we will meet here next week at 6 o'clock, September 23rd. And Vice Mayor, that concludes our public service report.
Thank you, Chairman Streebing. There's no need for closed session this evening. Is there any items of information for the good of the cause? Yes, Alderman Butler.
Yes, I got a couple items of information. So we've been going through different activities or information coming from the public for the past month. and for the past 2 weeks. I think, from one of the audience comments dealing with Miss P.J. Barnes, I think that we need to put this to rest. Me, myself, I don't see anything wrong with renaming the street. I've talked to one of the neighbors, and the neighbors are encouraging. I talked to her on the phone. And so I think that we need to go ahead on and bring it to a vote to either do it or not do it. But I am in favor of it. I heard one of the aldermen said that that we'll be starting something. If we do it for one, we have to do it for all. Well, if we do it for one, well, what's wrong with doing it for all if the neighbor does not contest it or protest against it? I mean, why not? I know it's up north, and we have a black African American that live up in that area. I wouldn't want to say that might be the reason that we might not, agree to rename the street, but I feel that we need to put it to rest and take care of the issue at the next meeting. Now, my other statement is what I like to say as well. The young father came in tonight about wanting to have some type of relationship with the city as well to combat the violence and the shooting within our city. I was touched on last week at the vigil that they had for Naya Davis, and I could remember in the past, when my brother-in-law got killed and shot dead. The chief, as well as the mayor, Scott, they were at our house trying to console the Nelson family, and I don't know where that went. That type of relationship went. The family has not been approached, as giving comfort, to the family by this administration. And I think it needs to be iterated somehow. I don't know how that we're going to have the administration to do it. I believe that the power is in this council. If we're concerned about the good and welfare of our city, we should be more compassionate and more concerned about the shooting and the violence that's going on around in our city. Because dealing with homes and properties and the things that we do about stuff like this is that we should be more concerned, because I haven't heard any of the councilors said anything so far about the violence or about the shooting within our city. And I stood there at that vigil looking, and I saw different nationality of people, black people, white people, Hispanics, there. And I appreciate, Chief having the auxiliary there and a couple of policemen there as well. But I said that to say this. It disturbed me when our mayor told a young lady to let black people handle black people's business. And I was so outraged of that comment. Then turned around and said that she was ignorant. And he was talking to a white lady. And I looked at that vigil. Like I say, I saw the whole village. It was just about as many white folks as would black folks. It takes each and every one of us. Look at this council. We make the rules, we pass the rules, and we all should be concerned about all people. Because to me, that statement that was made, if a white policeman, stops some black people in a car, well, Are they to stop and wait and call some black policemen to come to take care of the issue? Or you have a domestic in a home and then we have white policemen going to that area and they have to wait on some blacks to come in and take care of black folks' issues? That's all I've been hearing from people. Telling me my phone and I've been leaving town and, trying to put my phone on silent and they still call. And that's what they supposed to do and I'm supposed to answer when they call. And so it takes all of us, y'all. I mean, I am still outraged about that comment. And I just can't see how he could sleep at night, how anybody could sleep at night and not worry about their comment that was made. We need to examine ourselves. Are we truly child of God? And God said that we are all created equal. I'm a man just like Cooper, just like Arms, Gilio. He's a young man. I used to be young. But we're all created equal. We all need to come together as a town, as a city, as a village to make sure that our city is safe. I looked at that film when the guy, shot Kent. I mean, there was cameras all over him, from when he jumped off the roof to where he went down in a subway and then he went back into the neighborhood. He was constantly on cameras. And you mean that we as a city cannot encourage the people, let us come together to save our city as a community, as a village, as a people that's concerned, have love, not only for yourself, but toward one another.
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Butler. Yes.
I am outraged. And then I don't know why, some people think that me and my brother is, it's crazy there for dealing with, kids' issues. They tore up a building. Again, they're at Garfield Park. To me now, it's beyond repair. So we need to just tear it down. But thank God he gave us another building so that we can still help our children. And I should be on the fish bank, fishing. 74, 4 years old, they're still trying to save our kids, trying to save our city. Council, we need to come together. We need to hold whoever making all this rhetoric, hold them accountable. That we're not going to put up with it. That kind of rhetoric. And so I'm praying and that God will put my soul at rest, because it's hard for me to sit here and look, when to take all of us. I think the policemen there, out there with me out there on the corner. Mr. Butler, we got your back. They sit there and park. And I'm out there directing traffic. White policemen. I like it. I love it. So we need to kind of come together as a people. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Arms.
I'd just like to address the issue of the street name changes. I've spoken with Ms. Bourne previously. Unfortunately, you were traveling when I brought this up a couple meetings ago. And I just want to clarify, at least for myself, I'll only speak for myself, it's got nothing to do with race. I also rejected a major employer's request for the same request the same night, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about color, it's about having a process so that everyone is treated equally and that everyone meets the same requirements of eligibility and other things. And so we as a council directed the administration to put together those factors and those standards. And when I questioned the mayor a couple of meetings ago about why that has not been done, what I was told was it's going to be a while before that gets done. Wow. Now, I don't understand why it needs to be a while. I don't know if it's being worked on. I was just told that there were a lot of things going on and that you all heard the same response that I heard. So, Ms. Bourne, I appreciate your perseverance, I really do, and your interest in your request. But where you need to park at is in the mayor's office, because this is in his hands. And I will vote no on any street name change request until there is a formal process in place. That's the good way of doing business as a community and as a government, to avoid some of those concerns that arise later. So I would just, once again, ask to pass along back to the administration. Ms. Borden's urgent for an answer. I don't have any problem voting on it next week or the next meeting, but I can tell you what my vote is if we don't have a process. It's the same no it was probably, what, 4 months ago now, 3 or 4 months ago, maybe longer. So I don't disagree. She's entitled to an answer, and I don't understand why we're still waiting on a policy. But thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I want to address the concerns that we have with gun violence in our city. And the truth of the matter is, I believe we need to have a task force to address it, because this has gone on way too long. I recall one of the reasons why I'm sitting here right now is because I recall back in, let me think, what year was it? 17, 18? I remember that we had the highest number of gun deaths that we had ever had in our city. I think it was 13, 15, something like that. But 8 of them occurred, if I remember, my numbers might be off. The vast majority, it was at least somewhere around 2/3, 3/4, occurred in Ward 4, which is where I live. I remember having to go to church one morning and go around the block because there was a shooting across the street, and I could not back out my driveway and go to the stop sign, which sits at my corner. I had to go around the block because it was crime scene. English Street was a crime scene. We spent, and I also remember when we first revised the toter ordinance, and we spent a very long time talking about the toters at that time, that I remember saying, and I remember being very, very upset that we spent so much time talking about toters when people are dying in this city. It's frustrating to me that we're here again talking about a child being shot in the park when we had a child be shot in the park previously when Devon McClyde died. We shouldn't be having the same conversations over and over, and we can't sit on our hands and do nothing and expecting things to change, because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. And the truth of the matter is, nobody is coming to save us. And the truth of the matter is, nobody should care more than we care. We should be caring more about our children in our city, because it's all of our children. And it doesn't matter what race they are. It could have happened to anybody's child. It's unfortunate that it happened to the child that it happened to, but it didn't matter whose child it was. One child is too many. So I know I don't have all of the answers. I know that there was a lot of conversation that was started the night that Project Success had the forum at Laura Lee. I recall one of the young men who works for Project Success coming here with all of the feedback and everything that came from that forum. I remember I participated in that forum, and I have notes in my phone about things that would change Danville. Gun violence is one of the topics. And I remember when we were having the conversation, as a matter of fact, Mr. Butler, you and I, Alderman Butler, you and I were at the same table. Because you had information that you had brought that was printed out, and I was like, well, I got stuff in my phone, and I just started scrolling through, and a lot of the things that the young people were talking about were some of the same things that I had in my phone. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to find what's working and implement those things here. But we can't sit here and do nothing and expect things to change, because that is not going to happen. And that's what's gotten us here in the first place. So I say all that to say this. There should be a task force. I am in agreement, Mr. Davis. There should be a task force to prevent gun violence moving forward. We should have a violent prevention task force. How many more children are we going to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
And not just children, young people too, young adults.
Yeah. Right.
The shooting at the barbershop should have been enough right there, but nothing. It never even came up. And I will say this. Anaya's killing, let's not call it an incident, let's call it what it was. That baby was murdered.
She was.
It was brought up here. Mr. Alderman Jones brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it up.
Right.
And I know it hurt him and it's touched him because his brother is on that list.
Right.
And I don't know if everybody here knows that, but his brother is on that list. The list of shootings in Danville that have still not yet been solved.
Mm-hmm. You're right. None of them been solved.
There is something that we do need to do. So the mayor's not here. I don't know what he will or won't do. I can't speak for him. I am more than willing to participate in any violence prevention conversations that happen in this city. Mm-hmm. And I will do whatever I can to bring about change. And if nobody else is willing to lead it, I will.
I'll be right
Thank you.
behind.
Can we have Chief Yates speak to the topics of this evening during this discussion, please?
One of the things that every week or whenever we have public services, we've shown you the actual numbers. And I think I've been consistent in every press release and every meeting that until that number is 0 or until the community has real outrage whenever one of these things happen, a murder, an aggravated battery with a firearm, an aggravated battery with any weapon, violence against a fellow citizen, violence against a fellow human being is always too high. And when they ask me, when will I be satisfied, I am always consistent until there's no fathers or mothers or brothers or sisters or husbands or wives that have to experience this. And to say that nobody is doing anything, well, I have about 68 people that would beg to differ. There's a lot of charges and information that we cannot release due to the circumstances. And when you're talking about different individuals that the cases have never been cleared, well, there's also an inconsistency with that because I was very involved with Justin DeBarris. And those people responsible for that were taken into custody, if I remember right, within 72 hours because we had community support. The difference often in many of these cases, in almost all of these cases, is a willingness of the community and the witnesses to come forward and work with us to meet the same goal, which is to make everybody's life better. Whether you're north, south, east, or west, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, or any other race, it doesn't matter because I'll tell you what, those people that aren't doing anything, that 68 other people that I could point out to right now, I can't ever remember being behind a wall getting ready to go into a dangerous situation and someone come up and ask, who is the person we're risking our lives for? Are they male or are they female or are they white or they're black? So to say that nothing is being done and nothing has been changed, I will respectfully beg to differ. But like I have said before, I don't want to hear that if that's my child. Therefore, I will not pump it or try to capitalize on any successes other than the understanding is we're going in the right direction. We need to double down on the things that work and tweak the things that aren't, and continue to try to get that community support to where we can work together. Because there are incidences in which there may be 200-300 people there, and just by looking at just the chance of how many people would have seen something, 5, 10, 15, 20, it wasn't like they were standing away from it. It was in the middle of everything. And I'm not talking about any particular case. I'm talking about the cases that you're talking about on East English. I'm talking about the cases that happen wherever you want to choose. The majority of these events are happening where there's a large crowd of people that pop up, and there's a huge risk to public safety because you cannot ensure any standard of safety whenever those things and those conditions exist, when you have certain people, a very small minority of people that do not care who they hurt through their reckless and often evil behavior. So, rather than rattling on, I will say, yes, are there people working very hard around the clock to make things better? Yes. And I'll argue to the ends of the earth on that. Are we making improvement? Yes. I've got the numbers to show it. Is it good enough? No, because there's still people like Mr. Davis that has to go home at night wishing that things were different and that he could talk to certain people he loves again. I've experienced it personally as well. I know what it feels like. There are a lot of people that are working very hard. We are making progress. However, again, ask me if I'm satisfied. And again, I will say absolutely not, because that outrage has to be visible through results rather than a Facebook click, tweak, or like. Until we're there, yes, we have work to do, but it's also being done as we speak.
I'd like to add that violence prevention is not just a police responsibility. Police are a component in the overall puzzle. So have our numbers gotten better? Absolutely. Has it gotten safer? Absolutely. But it's not on just the police department to do anything about it. It is a community problem.
Right.
And the issue that we have, and I would say that one of the problems that I see, and I don't know, Chief, you may or may not agree with me, is that there's a lot of question or responsibility put on the police, but the police aren't putting the guns in people's hands, right? The police aren't the ones holding the guns or pulling the weapons. There are things that we can do as a community to prevent violence so that we aren't in this situation, because the police's major responsibility, not only, but major responsibility is to respond to crimes as they're happening and try to then put the people away who commit the crimes, like in the cases that you're talking about. But if something can be done, if we can come together as a community to do things to prevent violence from happening in the first place, then that would make things a whole lot better for all of us. And so when I talk about a violence prevention task force, to me, for example, when you look at potential solutions, they're not police-oriented solutions. One of the complaints that people have in this community, and they've had in this community for years, is that our young people don't have anything to do. That's not a police responsibility, that's a community responsibility. Right. And if we actually gave our people a constructive place to go, where there is structure, where they have activities that are geared towards them in the evenings and in the summer, then you know what? They wouldn't be at the park where it's unstructured, where somebody could roll up and shoot them, and that is not the police's responsibility. So I want to be clear that the things that I was saying when I was saying nobody was doing anything, I wasn't talking about the police department. I was talking about the city of Danville as a whole.
Correct. I was saying the same thing.
And I will also add that one of the reasons why way back when I was still on the Lower Lee board, we looked at the youth and the teenagers specifically, it was as a result of what happened to Devon. We were like, oh, you know what? Nobody is looking at the teenagers. Nobody's providing services for the teenagers. So let's make sure that when we get the opportunity, let's provide something for teenagers. Because when we provide something for teenagers, guess what? Then they're not in the street. They're doing productive things. They're going on college tours. They're learning about the future. They're learning about all of these things. And then they're less likely to be a victim of violence or committing violence. And so when I say what I said, it wasn't about the police. It was about every single one of us as citizens of this city who pay tax dollars in this city, because expecting that the responsibility sits with the 68 people on the police department is an error in thinking.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Having satisfied the agenda at this time, I'll accept a motion to adjourn. So moved. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.